everyone, and a long overdue welcome back to RaceRoom. I've been trying to find a good race to enter in this sim for weeks now, but the grid sizes have been really low for any non-rookie race, but it's got to the point where I've decided to take the plunge. We're jumping into a rookie's grid. It's the BMW M235i Cup at Zandvoort. Now, we're no stranger to this combo. We've raced it several times in the past on the channel, and that experience could hold us in good stead here. We were really competitive in qualifying. We're going to be starting from the second row. We've put it fourth on the grid with a time of 1:51.4. We're less than 0.2 of a second shy of the third place man, Ruben Herrera, and the second place driver, Ruslan Yaronov, is only 1/10 of a second ahead of him, so it's certainly all to play for here, but don't rule out the driver in fifth, Chris Mitch. His lap times in qualifying were nearly identical to mine, so we're certainly not going to get an easy ride from Mitch behind, but the lights are about to go green, so let's get down to the grid and see how we go. And it's green, so we are underway at Zandvoort, and we're lining up on the outside of the grid, so that is going to leave a big gap on the inside if we can't close that line off into T1. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to because Ruben Herrera is on the inside of us. There is a gap there, and Chris Misch dives right into it and actually clobbers the rear end of Ruslan Yaronov. I'm amazed that Yaronov managed to hold that. Really aggressive move from Misch, but he's gained 2 positions. He's up from 5th to 3rd, although he's run out wide onto the grass. Now, is he going to rejoin? We better give him some space. He does do, but he can't make the apex, so we're able to switch back and stick it up the inside. Have we got the drive to get back past him? Yes, we have, so we've snatched that 4th position back. But Misch isn't going to surrender quietly. He's fighting right back, and he thought about sticking his nose up the inside through that fast left kick there. I'm glad he didn't. The last thing we want to do is go through there too wide on the opening lap. Misch putting us under all kinds of pressure, but he's missed his braking point into that right-hander. That's given us a bit of breathing room. Oh, and look at the driver in second place, Ruben Herrera. He's up on 2 wheels into the gravel. That was a massive moment for Herrera. Did he manage to save it? I'm not sure, but it's promoted us up into 3rd position. And you know what? I think Herrera might have saved that. I can still see him on the leaderboard. He's down in 12th position, but somehow he managed to stop that BMW from rolling. A heroic effort from Herrera. We'll go back and check out a replay of that in a minute. For now, we are in hot pursuit of the leading 2 here. Into this tricky chicane for the first time. It's pole position man Chiaro's leading, Yaronov in 2nd, we're in 3rd, Phil Clegg in 4th, and James Tumulty in 5th. And in all the excitement, I didn't even notice that we've lost Chris Misch. Misch was right behind us at one point. We saw him run a little bit wide into that fast right-hander, but clearly Misch has had some problems because he's now dropped down to 18th, and that has opened up a little bit of a gap to the drivers behind. We're almost 1.5 seconds clear of Clegg in 4th. Well, what a dramatic opening lap here at Zandvoort. Let's check out a replay to see what went down on this opening lap. We got a fairly decent start. Now, we're the first of the green cars. We're tucked in behind that red BMW of Yaronov at the moment on the outside. Watch Misch dive up the inside and run into the rear of Yaronov. Yaronov just manages to save it, but it was close. Riding on board with Misch now. We can see him run in too hot. There's the contact with Yaronov. Yaronov gets a bit squirrely because of it, and Misch dives through into 3rd position. However, he's not going to keep that 3rd place for long. At the very next corner, he's going to overcook it again, running in too hot, out onto the grass, bounces off the barrier. Now he rejoins. We anticipated that rejoin, thankfully, and we gave him the space, and that allowed us to nip up the inside and retake that 4th position. Now I'm looking forward to seeing this one again. Ruben Herrera currently defending 2nd position from Yaronov. He's just going to take too much of that curb on the inside. It's going to put him up onto 2 wheels. Now, does he save it? He's on 2 wheels for what seems like an age, but yes, he does save it with a little bit of help from the barrier. But it's very difficult to rejoin there on a crowded racetrack, and when he does do, he's well down the order. Let's watch it on board and see how hard he had to work to save this great stuff from Herrera. And in all that drama, we completely missed Chris Mitch dropping down the order. Now, we lost Mitch at this turn, this long left-hander, and again he runs it in really wide. He's made a mess of most of the corners on this opening lap. Well, thankfully for my stress levels, the chaotic action that we saw on lap 1 didn't last, and the field soon started to spread itself out. We're rejoining the live action about a third of a way into the race, and you can see ahead, gaps are beginning to open. The leader, Gyaros, is now about a second clear of Yaronov in second. Meanwhile, behind, we've opened up a 2.5 second cushion back to Philip Clegg in fourth. Now, I was hoping to stick with these two guys in front, but that's proving to be difficult. Yaronov in second is 1.5 seconds clear, and no matter what I try, I can't seem to bridge that gap. So my only hope, if I am going to challenge for a race victory here, is that Yaronov catches the race leader and they slow each other down fighting. Now, there's signs of optimism here because Yaronov did get a purple lap the last time out, and it looks like he's going to get another one because he's visibly closer to Gyaros now as we charge down the start and finish straight. And yeah, 150.8 for Yaronov on that last lap compared to a 151.7 for the leader Gyaros. So that gap has been eradicated. Yaronov now is right on the tail of Gyaros. This could work in our favour here. And this fight at the front isn't the only close battle on track at the moment either. Just a little bit behind us, Juan Pablo in fifth is having to work really hard to hold off James Tumulty and Captain Moist. Now keep your eye on my fellow YouTuber James Tumulty in the green BMW. He's going to get a huge punishment for the smallest mistake. They're just clipping the grass, but it sends him violently into the barrier. Let's ride on board with Tumulty and we can see how quickly this lets go. Yeah, blimey, James couldn't do anything to save that one, and that was a big hit too. And you've got to feel a bit sorry as well for Moist behind. He just couldn't get out of the way as Tumulty bounced back onto the track, and he gets taken out too. Thankfully for Moist though, he is able to rejoin. 2/3 race distance now. We've got 5 minutes remaining here at Zandvoort, but my plan to catch the front two as they battle together has failed miserably. That's not because they're not battling. Look at them. You can throw a blanket over them ahead. It's just that they've still got too much pace for me. The gap to Yaronov in second is now 3 seconds, so I'm not going to bridge that gap unless they really start roughing each other up on the final few laps. And yeah, over those final few laps, it was clear that Yaronov had some extra speed, but he just couldn't find his way around the leader. And we shouldn't be surprised because Zandvoort is such a difficult circuit to pass on at the best of times. But in these lower powered cars, it is really, really hard work. We're rejoining the live action in the final stages of this race, although I'm not sure quite how final this stage is. It could be the last lap, or we could have one more lap to go. Now, the reason I'm not so sure is because when the leaders crossed the line to start the last lap, there was precisely 1 minute 51 left on the clock. That's pretty much exactly the lap times that these two guys in front are doing. So whether they're going to cross the line in time to get one more lap in, I really don't know. But realistically, this could be Yaronov's last chance to fight for the victory in this race. So let's switch the extra cam and we can ride on board with Yaronov and see just how close he is to the race leader, Gyaros. Is he going to get a good enough run through these final 2 turns to launch an assault on the start and finish straight? It's a tough ask, it really is, and it doesn't look like he's close enough. So now all eyes will be on the clock. Are they going to get over the start-finish line before that clock hits 0? Just! We're going to get one more lap here at Zandvoort. And Yaronov really does have the pace now, but look how aggressively the leader is defended into turn 1. There was no way through for Yaronov there. He may have even had to get off the gas to avoid a collision there because it looks like Gyaros has gained a 10th or 2 on the exit of T1. But these two guys fighting ferociously now and they're leaving me for dead. They're 4.5 seconds clear. I've got no chance of keeping up with them. Oh, Gyaros gets it a little bit wrong on the exit of that left-hander. That is going to give Yaronov a chance. This is the biggest opportunity he's had to run alongside. There's no room. He gets squeezed out onto the grass. Oh, this battle is really heating up now. Gyaros is defending with everything he's got, trying to stop Yaronov from finding a way through. And you can see how much quicker Yaronov is out of the corners there. Has he got enough power to make a move up the inside? No, again, Gyaros shuts the door. It's getting really close there. There was a bit more contact. Oh, this time there's big contact. Gyaros is sideways. Is he going to save it? No. Gyaros has gone. The yellow flags are out. We're going to get past Gyaros. We're going to get promoted into second position. And it looks like Yaronov is going to win this race. Oh, that's going to be a controversial one. We'll have to take a look at the replay when we cross the line to finish the race. It didn't look like there was room for Yaronov to make the move up the inside. And we don't need the TV cam on anymore. We can switch that off because Yaronov has got this race sewn up. But yeah, I think he was aware that time was against him there. He knew he was running out of opportunities to make the pass to try and take the lead. And he went for broke. Unfortunately for Guiaros, he ended up being the broken one. But those sorts of incidents are all too common here in Zandvoort, particularly in the final stages of the race. Because it's so difficult to make a pass here, you do tend to get a bit impatient and push that a little bit too hard in the attempt to get past. I think that's what we've seen there, but we're crossing the line. We're going to take second place. Yaronov is the winner. Right, let's take another look at this controversial last lap, starting at T1, and Guiaro's the leader, defending as if his life depends on it there. He knows that Yaronov behind him has a little bit of extra pace, so he's going to do all he can to stop that red BMW finding a way through. However, Yaronov got close here. They're side by side. Yaronov just gets squeezed down to the grass a little bit there, and he's on the wrong side. He's on the outside for this upcoming turn, and he's got no choice but to back out there. But then a couple of corners later, it got really tasty. He's having a sniff up the inside. There's not room. He clips the rear of Guiaro's BMW. Guiaro's valiantly tries to save it, but he just can't keep it facing in the right direction. One more view from the chopper cam. This will give us a better angle. Now, this is the previous corner, and Yaronov is having a sniff up the inside there. There's a little bit of contact already when Guiaro's tries to shut the door, and then exactly the same thing is going to happen at the next corner. There's not room. The contact's a little bit heavier, and Guiaro spins out. I certainly don't think it was a deliberate punt, but I do think it was the combination of impatience and frustration that just forced Yaronov into trying that move that wasn't really on. And Guiaro's too, actually, defending that apex with all his might. Had he just left a little bit more room for Yaronov up the inside, I think he probably would have still held on to the lead because he would have had the inside line for the next corner. But hindsight's a wonderful thing, and we certainly can't complain about it too much because it gifted us an unlikely second position, and that's my best finish in RaceRoom for a long, long time. And I'm really happy with my fastest lap there too, a 1:51 flat. That's better than my qualifying time, but it's still a few tenths shy of Yaronov. Well, one thing's for sure, RaceRoom always delivers when you want close and exciting online racing. That's never been in doubt. It's just a shame that so many of the grids have been poorly populated lately. Hopefully, we can see some more racers returning to this sim and we can get some more competitive grids. In the meantime, if you need a further reminder of how RaceRoom can deliver top-notch online racing, check out this video. It is an absolute cracker. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.